Welcome back to another episode of Off The Dribble. After a long hiatus, here's episode 26 featuring myself, Aashrith, and my co host Chetan. And we're back. The NBA is finally back after like 4 months of prolonging content, of like ranking random teams, ranking positions. We can finally talk about real basketball being played. This is going to
Finally,
be super exciting.
yeah. I'm hyper it. We have two really good games tonight, so I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that. But before we talk about the games, there's been some a little bit of injury updates that have been going on recently before this opening night starts. So Arshad, we'll start off with you, and we'll just start off talking about Kawhi and his injury.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Kawhi so much in this podcast already, and none of it's
Yeah,
been good. Like,
yeah.
like we've pretty much only talked about his injuries, and like here we go again. Like, we're all waiting for the notification. Really, we're all waiting
Mhm.
for Shams to all tell us that like, oh, Kawhi's missing an indefinite amount of time. We'll probably see him back for like a week in February, and then he'll probably won't play the rest of the season. Like, I mean, as a fan of basketball, it sucks. Like
Mhm.
to see like a guaranteed future first ballot Hall of Famer like miss this much time is like it's so sad.
It
Like the
is.
human in me is like, okay, like he's got to retire. Like he's completed basketball. Like there's nothing
Mhm.
left for him to do. He's got his money. He's worth like 300 mil. Like he doesn't need any more, you know? But the Thunder fan in me is like, we got their pick next year. and and Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey might come to the Thunder.
That would be crazy.
I mean, we're
That,
obviously going to trade out of that pick if we get the first pick, but
yeah.
could you imagine the ransom that we get from like the Wizards for that pick? My God.
That'd be insane. So yeah, that injury definitely has a lot of implications throughout the season, and even for like you said, like draft for the upcoming draft for next season as well. But I also was like expecting Kawhi probably like as of right now, they're just saying they're just rehabbing his knee, just trying to make sure like everything is good before he comes back. But and it's indefinite, so nobody really knows how long it's gonna be. But
That last season in San Antonio was him rehabbing his knee, but
yeah,
then it turned out he had like a crazy knee injury that like no one knew about
no one
except for
knew about.
himself.
So like I feel like this is just gonna keep going on and on for a couple months, and then but like now it's just if you have James Harden in fantasy now, bro, he's gonna go crazy. That's just all I
Good
gotta say.
lord. Yeah,
Yeah. And
gonna
then the
be
next
hella
series,
like, oh my God.
yeah, hella assists, hella points. He's gonna hella triple double watch almost every game now. So it's gonna be like that. But the next injuries that we have are also two injuries that are also pretty known. They have Embiid is out for the opener, and then you also have Paul George who's going to be out, and he's going to be reevaluated next week. So, what are your thoughts on those two being out?
Like I don't mind Embiid being out. Like I think like the ideal like I like Embiid a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the so for me like the ideal playing time for Embiid to be like if he gets like 60 games this season and he's healthy and like fresh for the playoffs, that's like ideal.
Yeah.
Because against the Knicks, we saw him put up 50 on 85% shooting on one leg.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously like different. But the crazy part is the Sixers signed Paul George just to make sure that Embiid has like could rest. Like
Mm-hmm.
they signed Paul George to have another star on the floor, Maxi, so Embiid could rest. And now we're saying Paul George has what? What's the injury? I forgot the injury.
Hyperextended knee.
Like, bro, this is the second time he's had that in the past like 6 months. I think Dort hyperextended his knee
Mm-hmm.
last April, like right before the playoffs.
Yeah.
So 2 times, probably same knee. Not a good look. And I don't know. I hopefully comes back soon, but
Yeah.
PG, it's never really that easy.
Like starting off with Embiid, like already reports came out he's not going to be playing back to back, so that's already going to limit how many games he plays throughout the season. So, um, I feel like Embiid being out first game is not a huge deal, but like you said, like the addition of Paul George, it's just Tyrese Maxey and others versus it's gonna be Tyrese Maxey and others versus whoever they play opening night. So it's not something that it's basically what they were
They
doing
get
last year.
they get Milwaukee with no
Yeah,
Chris Middleton, but
no,
like
but like I have a
they're
feeling
used
that
to not playing Chris Middleton. Yeah,
yeah, and I have a feeling that Dame's gonna be a lot better this year. That Milwaukee team, I said it before. I feel like that Milwaukee team's gonna be a lot better, but like
hmm
the whole point, like you said, is to have that second, third option if Embiid's not there, and now you just have Tyrese Maxey. So like this, it's a long season, but like you don't want to see your newly acquired star not playing in the beginning of the season, especially when you want to start like establishing chemistry and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So next we're gonna move on to the games
Real
that are gonna,
basketball.
some real basketball happening today. No preseason, nothing like that. So we're gonna first start off with a game that's gonna happen on Thursday. We're gonna fast forward a little. We're gonna go to the Thunder Nuggets game. This, in my opinion, is a really, really interesting game because that's two, in my opinion, top four, top five, not Thunder top two team in the West, in my opinion, and the Nuggets top four, top five, maybe. So, who do you think is gonna come out that game on top? And then like, what are you looking like? What players are you looking forward to like actually just like come out and like reestablish themselves? I have like it's opening night, so it's obviously hard to like kind of like predict who's going to win and what players are going to do good, but you kind of have a sense of what's going to go on. So, what are your thoughts on that?
So I'll talk about the Thunder side. So before going to a player, the one thing Thunder fans really wanted to see this season as an improvement was their rebounding.
Mm-hmm.
Like top five offense, top five defense. We weren't really worried about that too much. The additions of Caruso was really going to help us on the defensive end. The subtraction of Giddy obviously is also going to help us. But the one thing that we're all really looking forward to is Isaiah Hartenstein, and that a sort of like rebounder that can also play make defense. And unfortunately, he broke his finger. He's out till December. So now, like, it's really interesting for me to see like how the rebounding battle goes. We were 3-1 against the Nuggets last season, and the only time we lost is the only time we lost the rebounding battle.
Yeah.
So I think I don't really think there's a player in the league that can contain Jokic. Like, I don't think that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't think there's a player in the league that can contain Shea. So as long as both of them cancel each other out, J-Dub and Chet go off, and we hold our own against Jokic and Gordon and Porter Jr. on the boards, I think this should be a comfortable win this early in the season. But I don't know. What do you think?
I also think that the Thunder should come out on top, especially with all the offseason acquisitions that they made with Hartenstein, Caruso. Like you said, they attack their weaknesses without making any major roster changes. I like trading away like core players or losing core players. And then going to the Nuggets side, like I said this multiple times over the summer and over the course of the last couple months, the Nuggets lost a lot of pieces. Yeah, they got a backup point guard, which is kind of what they lacked last year as well. But they lost a starting shooting guard, which means that you're going to have a bench player that moves up into the starting lineup. I still don't know if it's going to be Christian Braun or if it's going to be Julian Strathmore because during the preseason, Julian Strathmore was playing really well. And there's been a lot of good reports about him coming out of the Nuggets training camp. So, like, I still don't know who's going to start for them. So, like, their starting lineup is still, like, in my opinion, like, not fully established. You have a loss of depth. You lost one of your best defenders in KCP, who would be your point of attack on defense, guard your best player. In this case, he would be on Shea. So, like, now who's going to be on Shea? So, I think the Thunder can comfortably win this game, and I also think that they'll pretty much cover the spread as well.
I think like if you want to look at a player that people should watch, it's 100% Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
Like I think like the first matchup against Jokic last season, he was overmatched, and like the meme pages were rolling like, oh my god, like can he guard the bigger guys? I think we proved last season that Chet will have no problems guarding bigger opponents. He played all 82, like comfortably played all 82, and was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year before Wemby and Gobert pushed away.
Yeah.
But I don't really see any issue with that. The thing I'm concerned about more is, dude, like I don't know if you saw like Mikal Bridges' shot, but an underrated like a negative development for Thunder is Chet Holmgren's jump shot.
I
Like
also
I
saw
don't
a
know
video
what
of his uniform changes as well.
I don't know what the shot doctor did, but man, like he has a weird hitch in his three now. So I want to see if that's like it's gonna carry over to actual gameplay or if he's just trying something out.
Yeah.
But like a niche thing that Thunder fans to look at is how well Chet Holmgren shoots the ball to start the season. Because last season he was ultra efficient, 50, 40, 90 until January. If he can start similarly this season and not hit that sort of rookie wall, then we're looking at 60, 65 wins this season.
Yep. And then moving on. Going back real quick to that little hitch in the shot that you were talking about, like Mikal Bridges, that dude, like over the preseason, he went 2 for 19 from three. Like, take it lightly if you want to because it is preseason, but like a lot of those were open, uncontested 3-pointers that he was just missing, especially his corner threes, which he's known to make. So that's something I'm worried about for the Knicks, which is a perfect segue into the next game, which is tonight at 7:30, Boston versus New York. So who do you think is, in my opinion, this is actually a really great game for both teams. A good like start to the season for the Celtics, trying to prove to everyone that like, yeah, we won the championship. Let's show out against a really good, strong New York team, and then a New York team that made a bunch of offseason moves, trying to make their roster as strong as they can to compete with the Celtics. So who do you ultimately think will come out in this game?
Yeah, like you were saying, this is a great matchup. This is the favorite to win the championship according to the bookies, the Celtics, and the third favorite to win the championship are the Knicks. So like this is as good as the game we're gonna get this early in the season.
Yep.
And Boston is super hungry, I think. Like
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum coming off being embarrassed by Steve Kerr in the Olympics, Jaylen Brown coming off like all these random ass interviews where he's complaining about not playing for the team. Like we're gonna get two of the best players in the league super hungry to make a statement on national TV where the whole world is watching
Yep.
against Jalen Brunson, who also got snubbed for that same team, and
Mm-hmm.
Karl Anthony Towns, who who was supposed to retire in Minnesota and got moved to the Knicks. Like
Yeah.
the amount of storylines in this game is insane. I think the Celtics are going to win this one. I think they cover too. I
Mm-hmm.
just think the Knicks is like, although like some of them played together in college, like there's too many new pieces for it to gel this fast in the season. And the Celtics, what like they made one addition and waived him. Like they added Lonnie Walker and then cut him. So like they like it's effectively the same team as last season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Celtics get this one. I think they pull away late in the fourth and win and cover the spread too. Like I don't know. Do you have any different opinion?
No, I like the exact same thought process. Like this, it's the same championship Celtics team that we saw like in June. It's the same core, literally almost the same exact team. And then, like you said, like even though three of the guys on the Knicks did play together in college, like that chemistry might be there, but you have like majority of your core players in like Mikal Bridges and Cat are new, and they haven't played with each other, and Cat hasn't played with like anybody on that roster yet. So like expecting for a team like that to come out and defeat the defending champs on opening night is a tough task. So I also think the Celtics take it away and cover the spread as well.
Any players you're looking at another team that you think are gonna make a splash tonight?
Not make a splash, but someone I think that people should really watch for is, in my opinion, Cat, because huge trade. I think are the definite number two option on that team now. You can't really say anything about that, but he's playing in a lot bigger market, a lot more expectations on him, in my opinion, just because of like how much media attention there has been around the trade and everything like that, and plus like playing in New York is obviously like it's a lot different than playing in Minnesota. So I think like his first game, like even though it's not at home in New York, just wearing that uniform and seeing how he responds to like all that pressure, it's something I think that people should really look out for.
You see, they're calling Cat the Big Meow now.
Can't
My
escape
God,
his
bro.
nicknames, man. He can't
Bro,
escape.
Cat got the worst array of nicknames in the league, bro.
Big Meow.
They call him Big Purr, they call him the Big Bodega.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But I'm looking forward to seeing Cat in a different jersey, man. Like I've wanted to see him play with Gobert for a couple years now, and like now he's a
See,
Soul 5.
like
It's gonna be so nice.
after the first season of watching Cat and Gobert, like I was done with it. But after like the success the team has like so well after last season, and even like in my opinion, last season, I don't think you got the full potential out of that Wolves roster. Because if you remember, Cat was out for 25, 30 games that season, and we
Yeah.
still ended up being a third seed. Like, and we still ended up winning almost 52, 53 games. If Cat was healthy, I think we could have won close to. I think we could have won 60 games easily that season and been a number like the definite number one seed. So like obviously in my head, like I still think like, oh, if like Cat was still here, and then like you added the addition of Rob Dillingham already to help with like a little bit of that bench scoring and the isolation scoring. I still think about like maybe running it back, but like after like the 2 or 3 weeks of the trade happening, and then like seeing Randall and seeing Dante play, and then like actually like listening to like Chris Finch's interviews and talking about how he's going to incorporate them into the lineup, I'm actually like really excited because now you have 4 people on our bench that, in my opinion, can on the Wolves bench that can go out and like start any given night. And again, like perfect segue into the next game, which is Wolves Lakers. I already talked about the Wolves. I'll talk about them a little bit more after you, but you talk about this game a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Bronny James lead the Lakers onto a good matchup. Like it's gonna be pretty like I I don't know. Like I don't know why the Lakers get the opening night game, man. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it'll be a good game because like they're not gonna let like LeBron get blown out game 1.
Mhm.
But like this could have gone to like so many teams, man. It could have gone to us. It could have gone to the Nuggets. It could have gone to the Mavericks. Like
I think the Nuggets Wolves would have been a crazy opening night.
yeah, bro. Like they missed a boat on this one. Like I know it's LeBron. It might be LeBron's last season, but like, come on, what are we doing? Whatever. But to talk about the game, I think LeBron teams are 0-6 in his career in opening night. I think it's gonna be 0-7. Like I think the Timberwolves should get this one. I think this is gonna be a big game from Ant. Like he's gonna show the league that like he's here. Like this is gonna be like his like sort of like MVP. Yeah, like his like I'm in line for the next year's MVP type season. Kind of like Shea had last season, where like he shows that he like I think he's being humble, right? He's always number one. But he called him and Kat 1A, 1B. There's no one on that team that can be a 1B to him anymore. Like no Julius Randle, no I don't even know Mike Conley. No, it's gonna be Ant. It's gonna be Ant taking about 25 shots a game. It's gonna be Ant creating the offense. It's gonna be Ant doing everything. So I'm excited to see what an Ant-centric system looks like. I'm excited to see Gobert without like anyone clogging the paint. Like his rim protection is so good, but it's so limited by the fact that like he had to cover for Cat on defense a lot. And now like Randall is just a bit more mobile. Like I don't think he's the greatest defender, but I think he's a little better than Cat. And I think Gobert and the free roam with Ant and Conley up front and McDaniels. That's gonna be a nice defense to watch for like people who like defense like yourself. And it's gonna be hard for LeBron and AD to get consistent success against like that sort of wall. So I think Timberwolves win by about 6 or 7. Like that's probably the way it'll go. Lakers probably get some calls to make it close.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Like I think Ant's gonna come out, and I feel like people kind of like over the course of the summer, like he's had his moments like throughout Team USA and everything. I've been seeing a lot of things recently about like Donovan Mitchell is a lot better. Devin Booker's a lot better in so many areas of his game. Jaylen Brown's like a 10 times more complete player than Ant. Like Ant's not a top 3 shooting guard. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Like this kid is 22 years old, led his team to a Western Conference Finals. Like, relax. Like I know he might have went like 1 for 10 from 3 in some of those Western Conference Finals games, but he was still there. But I think he's gonna come out. I think he's gonna drop 25 at least. I think that's just. I feel like that's his like floor, in my opinion, is like 22 to 23. Like last year, his floor, like a bad game would be like you would see him drop like 12, 15 points on like terrible efficiency. But he's worked on so many parts of his game, such as like catch and shooting is like the one thing that he struggled. He didn't struggle with it, but it was really inconsistent with. And I don't know if you saw in the preseason, like this dude was putting up like 16, 17, like 3-point attempts a game, just trying to get his shots up. Before the regular season to see like what he can do. So like when you see things like that happening, you see like the evolution in his game more and more. And I also see like the maturity in him as like a leader, because now like the longest tenured your Robin to your Batman, he's gone. So Ant kind of realized like this is fully my team now. Like there's no one else. But one person that I think that people should watch for is Julius Randle. I think a lot of people, I said this when we discussed the trade in the beginning, it goes over a lot of people's head that last year, like Randle was having an insane year. Like he only played 46 games, but he averaged 24, 9 and 5 next to someone's use that has like also one of the high. He did that next to Jalen Brunson, and he has one of the highest usage rates in the league as well. And now he's going to do that with Ant, who's also going to, in my opinion, have a top 10 usage rate in the league now. So if Randle, in my opinion, if he stays healthy and if his shoulder's fully good and he's like back to his prime and back to what he can do in New York, I think that he can also like come back and have like another career year. So that's someone I think that people should watch out for, especially because like the whole thing about the trade was, oh, they got Dante DiVincenzo in the trade. Their bench is so crazy. Like that's kind of the talk around it. But I think people forget that like how good Julius Randle can be and how like versatile of a player he is.
I think one thing I kind of want to see is how the ball distribution works between Ant and Julius Randle. Like
Yeah.
one complaint that Knicks fans would have had with Julius Randle is how he forces the ball up.
Mhm.
Like if he's more willing as like a cutter and a screener, like his offense can expand so much, and like Ant's offense by proxy can expand a lot too. Like, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say like right as soon as he like got to like the T Wolves, I watched their press conference and everything. Like, yeah, you take those things with a grain of salt because they're media trained and everything. They know what they need to say. But like the one thing I noticed is like what he said and what Finch says that Julius was saying throughout the whole thing is like he's there to take Ant's game to a next level. Like he's there to do whatever Ant wants him to do. So when like as a fan, obviously, when you hear like a player who in his past is known to be such a heavy isolation guy, and then when he comes to your team and kind of saying like, okay, like this guy on my team already has the chance to be one of the greatest basketball players. Let me take his game to a next level and see what he can do. When you hear something like that, then maybe you think that you'll see a change in his game. But again, like you're gonna have to see it in action before like you can make any assumptions about that.
Yeah, bro. The amount of times I saw Russ say that he would change, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so like you take it with a grain of salt,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm really interested to see that point because a lot of Julius's offense comes from his own shot creation. I
Mhm.
think I don't know the stat off the top of my head, but he doesn't get many baskets assisted for him.
He
Like,
doesn't.
and he doesn't create a lot of assists either. It's a lot of like tunnel vision
His
ball.
assist numbers are actually decent. They're around like the 5 to 5.5 range.
That's actually better than I thought.
Yeah, he's a pretty decent underrated playmaker actually. So that's also another part of the game that a lot of like under Chris Finch, his like playmaking got unlocked like a lot more when earlier in their season. So under Finch, I feel like Finch is a really good coach of like unlocking bigs playmaking. So I feel like he'll fit into that system in that area. But like you saying, like the spacing and the ball distribution between Ant, especially when you need an isolation bucket, like who are you gonna go to? Are you gonna go to Ant
Oh,
or are you
come
gonna
on.
go to Ant, obviously, like at points in the game, there's going to be times where Julius is like, okay, like at least let me get a crack at it. Let me see what I can do. So it'll be interesting, like you said, to see what happens for sure.
Yeah. And on the other side, we talked about the Wolves a lot, so we'll talk about the Lakers just a little bit.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I'm trying to remember what crazy additions the Lakers have made this season.
Honestly,
Is it just Connect?
just
Like
connect. That roster is pretty much the same.
that's not good.
Yeah,
Because they they don't have a good defender besides AD on the roster.
they
Like
really do.
like they're trying to mold Bronny to be at least that. Like because he has the size to stay in front of guards,
He does,
but
but he doesn't
he
have the
doesn't.
he doesn't have the length or like the weight to stay in front of like a three though. That you're gonna get switched on
That's
like
the thing.
the game.
Like he could really stay in front of like anybody 6'4" or shorter.
Yeah.
But like aside from like Russ, but
Mhm.
like once you get to like that sort of like James Harden, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, that sort of like height range, bro, it's a long day, bro.
Even
And
even
like
even Ant is 6'3", 6'4", but he's 225 pounds. Like,
he's too big.
yeah.
So it's just bro. Like I saw a tweet. Someone said like, I can't wait to see Bronny with Ant alone on a fast break, and LeBron got to come back and save the day. but that like you like I think Bron's entering year 22. Like you can't expect like a year 22 player to be the best player in the team again.
Yeah.
So
Impossible.
that's what I
Like,
worry about with the Lakers because he can do it sporadically. Like if you get him in the playoffs for a game or two, he can be that sort of 32, 33-year-old Bron. But like Anthony Edwards has to make a real like jump this season to be like MVP like caliber for this team to even like approach like a top 5 seed.
yeah.
In my opinion. And
Yep.
if you don't see a little glimpse of that tonight, because like whether Wolves fans like to admit it or not, like Gobert is definitely gettable. AD can put buckets on him if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So like if if he doesn't have at least like 30 and 10 tonight, bro. I know it's like lofty expectations, but like game one, like if he doesn't come out swinging, then I have like low hope for the Lakers
Hopes and
season,
dreams.
like going
Yeah,
forward.
especially like honestly, like the major change that they made. Like I feel like that whole organization thinks that the reason that they haven't been successful is because of their coaching, and I think that coaching switch is why they think they're gonna turn it around. I
He's
personally
too
don't
young,
think,
bro.
yeah, I don't think that's possible because, like, again, you're relying on a washed out of his prime D'Lo for the past like 2 to 3 years to be your like second option on certain nights because AD will be out. You know, Braun's gonna be out certain nights.
I want to
Like
look at the Lakers roster. Sorry, keep going. But
you can't expect D'Lo to like D'Lo 4 years ago when he was on the Wolves in 2021 or 2020. He could drop 30 on you any night on pretty good efficiency, but now like the max that I think he can drop on like above 50% field goal shooting is like 22, 23 maybe. And that's like on like 1 in every 10 games. So banking on him being your like second options on like 50% of the nights that you're out there, I don't think it's gonna help. And obviously like you have Connect, like he's 24 years old, he's gonna come in ready to contribute, but like again, I don't think he's like that game changer for them to jump from a play into like the 6th seed or anything like that. I
like
don't think
he can shoot. Like he
he can
can
shoot
like
lights out. Yeah, for sure.
my
Like
god. But but
that
like
35-point game was crazy. Like I'll give it to him, but I don't think that like against like a full bone 48 minutes against like a regular season defense. Yeah, he can still give you 35, but like he's not gonna get the minutes to do that either. So
you don't think so? Dude, I'm looking at this roster. Like I think he's gonna get the minutes to do it. Cause they have like they're so top heavy, it's crazy. Like they
they
have Braun, AD, Austin Reeves, and then
mhm.
they'll play D'Lo minutes because they have to. But besides that, they go Rui next, who's like mid, and then like what? They have like Max Christie. They have
they just
like
they just signed an
Cam
extension.
Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt. Like Connect is gonna get time, I think.
Yeah,
Like I think at a Loki at a requirement because you can't play Gabe Vincent every night. That guy sucks.
he's so ass, bro.
That guy's trash. And like you have the dude who cried because Steph Curry said his name or something. Like Quincy Olivieri. Like,
Yeah.
bro, no way he gets real minutes. Like, come on, like, what are we doing? So, like, I think Ken's gonna get minutes. I think Bronny's gonna get minutes, bro. This team is horrible.
Yeah, this team is
Wait, now I'm mad that Thunder didn't get the game. What the hell?
this team is wow. Yeah,
Whatever.
I think Christie's gonna be the first player to come off the bench, and then it'll be Connect after that.
That's so sad, bro.
Because Christie, like for some reason, they have a lot of trust in Max Christie. I don't know why, but
I haven't seen anything, but maybe they know better than me.
they also like gave him an extension pretty recently, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah. A couple weeks ago. I
Yeah,
think
for
I
like
don't know.
4 year, $32 million deal.
Yeah, $8 million deal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, and then their backup center is Jackson Hayes. Wow, wow, wow,
Oh my
wow,
god, domestic abuser Jackson Hayes is their backup center. Jesus Christ.
wow.
This is embarrassing. Bro, they're gonna play Christian Coloco in NBA minutes.
They're gonna give Colin Castleton minutes, bro.
Florida legend Colin
Yeah,
Castleton.
no, I was about to say him and Trey Man, bro. They cooked together in Florida. They were cooking together in
Oh,
Florida.
oh my god. All right, well, moving on because this team sucks. But we're introducing a new segment, guys.
Yes, sir.
Me and Chetan gamble a lot. So we thought we should introduce this into the podcast in some way.
So
So
let's rephrase this a little. Aashrith gambles a lot. I gamble a little bit, but
stop
I have
it.
friends that I go to school with that also gamble a lot. So I make picks for them as well. So, but don't worry, I dabble with myself a little bit as well.
All right, I gamble a lot, fine. But we're introducing a new segment called Dribble Locks. So we'll give you guys like a three-leg parlay every episode, we'll say.
Yeah.
And we'll keep score to see which one hits and which one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So and then at the end, loser does a forfeit. I don't know, make it fun.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start because
Yeah,
I guess I gamble more than you. But I'm more focused on the Knicks Celtics game today. I think that's the more interesting game.
Okay.
So I had like sort of a Jalen Brunson centric parlay where I had the Celtics to win outright, and then I had Jalen Brunson to be the top scorer today,
Okay.
and I had Jalen Brunson points, rebounds, assists above 35.5.
Above 35.5. Okay. Solid. That's solid. I like
Yeah,
that. I like
and
that.
that's like I think that ended up being like plus 560.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
threw about $5 and let's see what happens.
Yeah. So for me, I have Wolves money line, like Wolves went out, right?
Mhm.
Jalen Brown, two plus threes, and then Ant 25 plus. I don't
Gotcha.
off the top of my head, I don't know exactly what that comes out to, but if I remember, it was around I think it was somewhere close to that as well. But the only thing I'm a little worried about is the Jalen Brown 2 threes. I don't know if 2 plus 3s. Not sure if he'll get that, but we'll see. We'll
It's a
see.
good bet. Like
Yeah.
I think Jalen Brown 2 plus 3s. The thing is, like, he's so streaky, bro. He could hit that in the first quarter,
Can hit that
but
in the quarter.
whenever I bet that, he'll stay on 1-3 for the entire game, bro. Like, piss
Yeah.
me off.
I'll give you a perfect example, bro. Kyrie against the Thunder in the playoffs. I gave one of my boys. I gave him he called me and then I gave him like a bet to place. Like, it was like a 3-legger. It was like Kyrie over 1.5 threes. This dude made a 3 in the first quarter. He made another 3 in the second quarter, but it didn't count because there was an illegal screen on it. Or there was a foul before, or yeah, there was an illegal screen on it. And then he had like 2 threes in the fourth quarter go in and out. And then the game ended. I think like the Mavs were up 8 or something with like 30 seconds left. He got taken out of the game.
He was shooting it, yeah. That
Done.
always happens, bro.
Done.
Like my friends, I was talking to my friends today before we were like thinking about what to put bets on, and he always puts bets on like X player gets a double double. But
Mm-hmm.
bro, like I'll avoid that bet every time. So I used to put Jason Tatum double double because that man was on a tear rebounding.
Yeah.
And
To
bro,
the end when you place.
as soon as you put the bet, as soon as I put the bet on there, he gets 25 and 9. Like what am I supposed to do? So, but guys, I'm on a heater right now. I think I've hit my last 5 bets. Yesterday
Oh
I had
wow.
an NFL 6-legger yesterday. I'm on a
Damn.
tear right now. So
Damn.
just trust me on this one.
Did you have
Unfortunately, my last
did
leg
you
was
have
Chris
Derrick
Godwin
Henry,
yesterday.
anytime touchdown yesterday?
No, I don't bet anytime touchdowns. That just scares me. But I had a lot of Chris Godwin legs yesterday, and unfortunately he dislocated his ankle. He hit the
Yeah.
parlay before he got hurt though, so thank you,
Oh
Chris.
damn. That's
Uh,
fire.
but like I hope you feel better.
Yeah, oh god. Got taken out in the air cast and everything.
No, I'm free, bro. But yeah, pretty good episode today, man.
Yeah, those are my locks. Those are Aashrith's locks. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna keep track of like who's hit throughout the course of like every episode, and we're gonna basically keep score. And then we'll like update you guys throughout through score. Probably we'll like do one and do this until like the end of the year. Then we'll give you guys like a score update. Then one at like All-Star break, give you another score update, and then one like
Yeah,
playoff or something like that. But yeah, so just keep staying tuned since the season's starting. We're definitely gonna be back on our shit, dropping more episodes. Got basically NBA basketball every single day for the next couple of months. So
yeah, it's gonna be
excited, and
huge.
yeah, stay tuned for tonight's games and stay tuned for our next episode. Probably going to be releasing sometime this weekend after the first slate of opening night games are over. So yeah, peace.
Peace.